Howdy, I'm Ian from Oak and Chain, coming at you again from Vienna, Austria. Have some time this weekend. My lovely wife is once again doing her full-time yoga course over the long weekend. So I had time to do a couple videos today to add on to my new YouTube channel, where I want to talk about things pertaining to Oak and Chain, involving not just being a modest little online Etsy seller, but also about spirituality, so on and so forth. Lately, though, I've been kind of ranting more about the Etsy seller aspect of it, but I'm sure I'll get to the spirituality aspect of it at some point. Anywho, like I say, I got time for a couple videos today. Then I'm going to start work on Project 13, something I'm very excited about, and you'll definitely be seeing more of, hopefully, on our Instagram feed. At any rate, starting things off today on my agenda, I want to talk about custom orders. Custom orders, I think, are something I didn't really think a lot about when I first became an Etsy seller. It has become definitely a measurable portion of my total sales to my supporters and whatnot. In my case, it's been usually custom ordering a piece I've already made, but in a specific size. Typically what I do in these instances is I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually not really good at resizing. I have a lot of pieces that are difficult or not practical to resize. Plus, I'd rather make something for that specific person from scratch. I feel it's a little bit more meaningful. That's just me, I guess, I don't know. But I have often done custom orders for my supporters. I like to do custom orders for my supporters. The way I do it's a little bit differently, and this is definitely directed more to hopefully existing and potential supporters of Oak and Chain. Generally speaking, when I do a custom order, the first criteria, really the only criteria, is if it's something I can do. For example, I had an inquiry about 2 or 3 years ago, and this young fellow emailed me with very elaborate description of a super elaborate, complicated piece that at the end I think was supposed to look like the medallion on the end of the staff from Indiana Jones, the Raiders of the Lost Ark or something, and it sounded really cool, I'm not gonna lie, but there's just no way I could tackle something with that much detail, that elaborate, so on and so forth. There's just no way in hell, and I had unfortunately declined. But I have managed to do a number of other pretty nice custom pieces, as well as I mentioned before, creating pieces that I've already done, but in specific custom sizes or tweaking them a little bit here or there, or whatever. Important thing about how I like to do custom work is I don't want any money up front. Typically, how it's functioned every single time up till now is someone someone sends me a message and says, "Hey, I like this ring, but can you make it in a size 7.5?" Okay, super. What I'll do is answer them and say, look, no problem. Just so you know, it'll be the same price for starters as the other ring, because at the end of the day, it takes me the exact same amount of time and material to make the same thing in a different size. It doesn't make any sense to charge more for it because it's custom. It doesn't make any sense. I will typically do that as quick as possible. That depends a lot on my work schedule. Because I do work full-time as an electrician. Unfortunately, Oak and Chain isn't my full-time gig. I'd love it to be. I'm kind of still sort of working on it, but in the meantime, I'm a 30 construction worker. And then what I'll do is I'll create the ring, and only when I'm finished, I'll do a sequence of 3 or 5 pictures, and I'll send them through the Etsy messaging system and say, do you like it? Does it meet your approval? And if so, then I will list it as a custom order for the customer on my Etsy shop, and only then do they pay if they're 100% satisfied. There's a couple reasons for this. One of them is I have my own personal trust issues. I've had a couple not super awesome experiences with custom and commission artwork and so on and so forth. I'm not going to get into the stories, maybe another time, but not today. And so I like to try and put myself as much as I can in the customer's shoes. And sometimes, to quote Elaine from Seinfeld, it's like you're trying to get a squirrel with a peanut here. And I don't want people to be scared or are concerned about someone that's not an actual established businessman, but rather like one of a million artists selling stuff on Etsy. So I want people to be comfortable when they order something from me. You've seen the pictures, you know it's done. then you can order it only once it meets your approval. You're absolutely, if you don't like it, and I tell people flat out, if I finish this thing and you say no, oh, I changed my mind, oh, you know what, I'm broke, that's fine. No hard feelings whatsoever, no problem, no stress. It's just another piece I can add into the actual Etsy shop for the general public to buy. No skin off my teeth. I don't really, a little disappointed, but I don't really care. So, and I think that avoids not only a bunch of stress and potential problems for myself, but absolutely for the customer as well. And then when it comes to the security of payment and ordering, Etsy's got that covered. I've mentioned this before in other videos. I have kind of a love-hate thing with Etsy, but at the end of the day, if there's one reason, if I had to pick one reason why I stick with Etsy, it's the security and the assurance and whatnot of their payment system, and the fact they take, I think, literally every method of payment humanly imaginable. So, custom work. You want to order something custom for me? If I can do it, if I feel comfortable with giving it a shot, I'm absolutely in, I'm your guy. You don't have to pay me a cent until it's done, and only then, upon your final approval. There's no obligation. You're not expected to. I hope that if you got me to make something, you would follow through, but hey, I understand if you don't. And once it's approved, you order it, I ship it out to you, done. I think it's a pretty simple and absolutely fair way to do business. And I want to make sure that when people are going to be giving me their hard work money for things that I create, I want to make sure that everyone leaves at the end of the day super happy about it. So that's my take on custom work, and I hope you're all having a really great day. Thanks for listening to my rambling.